Bakit nga ba seems like everyone is broke these days? I know there are rich people out there, yung mga rich talaga. However, alam din natin na maraming rich looking on the outside pero on the inside is wala talaga silang pera. And in this video, we're going to find out kung bakit ito nangyayari. I have 9 reasons listed here kung bakit tayo naging broke or we are living paycheck to paycheck. The first and the most common one na reason is yung tinatawag natin na lifestyle creep. Ang pinakamalaking halimbawa ng lifestyle creep is yung sa Pilipinas ay normal lang yung lifestyle mo, like average lang na tao. Pero pagdating mo ng Canada, may mindset ka na nasa abroad ka na nasa Canada ka na and you can afford like pretty much everything. That's why you raised your lifestyle here. That's why tinatawag to na lifestyle creep dahil hindi mo siya namamalayan. Parang it's just running on the background. Kumbaga, yung parang apps sa phone mo na hindi mo alam na it's running on the background and it's draining your battery. Parang ganun ang nagagawa ng lifestyle creep na it's constantly draining your finances na hindi mo siya namamalayan. And alam nyo ba na dito sa Canada, 40% ng mga 100k earners, yung mga kumikita ng mga 100,000 plus pataas, 40% sa kanila ay living paycheck to paycheck dahil sa lifestyle creep. That's why lagi yung sinasabi na it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you retain. And in order to avoid this, there is a suggested principle or a rule na dapat 50, 30, 20. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? So sa sweldo mo ay dapat automatic na may 20% savings ka na nakalaan. It should be automatic transfer if possible to other savings account. And then yung 50% ay for needs. Needs which means like housing, utilities, yung mga pangangailangan natin like groceries. And then yung 30% should go to your wants. Which means kapag ka meron na nakalaan for our wants, yung para sa necessities natin at saka yung para sa savings ay intact na siya. Hindi na siya makukuhanan or hindi na siya malilesen. One thing to remember about lifestyle creep is if your income raises, like for example is meron kang side hustle or meron kang pangalawang trabaho or you have a salary increase, is you should not increase your spending as well. This is very important. Ito yung pinaka-common na mistake ng mga tao na kapag meron silang second job, they're earning 1,000 more a month and then they spend that money also dahil they feel like they have this extra money na they can spend on whatever they want. Number 2 reason, and I think this is the root cause of people being broke, is dahil sa lack of education. Lack of financial education. Ito na yung pinupush ng mga tao ngayon na dapat sa high school pa lang or sa college ay i-include na nila etong personal finances education sa curriculum dahil pinaka-importante talaga to. And I agree with that kasi ang dami talaga makikita mong mga tao ngayon na even yung basic lang na pagmamanage ng personal finance is hindi nila alam. Lalo na para sa ating mga Pilipino na dumating ng Canada na iba yung kinagisnan natin, kinalakihan natin. Totally different yung pagmamanage mo ng finances dito sa Canada kasi kapag hindi mo alam and you fall into traps, it's so hard to get back. It's so hard to bounce back sometimes. Even studies show na 55% of Canadians doesn't even know the basic financial concepts. That's why, kalimitan, we really make mistakes when it comes to managing our finances. And we personally made these mistakes before nung bago kami sa Canada. Several years na nakatira kami sa Canada, we made these financial mistakes. Dahil nga, we were lacking the financial education na very important pala dito sa Canada. And even if you're in the Philippines, maganda na alam natin kung paano talaga i-manage yung ating pera so that if ever we get a hold of like a big sum of money, hindi lang siya natin basta-basta na we will spend on like whatever kinds of things na we want or we like to get. We should have in mind na we will allocate this into like stocks or investments, mga ganun na hindi mo lang siya splurge into buying your wants, splurge into buying things that you don't need. Kasi isipin nyo, ang pagmamanage ng pera para siyang nagda-drive. Like, if you just jump into a car and you don't know how to drive, of course, you will crash, di ba? So, ganun lang, kapag ka nakahawa ka ng pera and hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin dun, of course, mawawala yun sa kamay mo na hindi mo siya namamalayan. Number 3 reason why people are broke these days is dahil sa consumer debt or yung mga credit card at saka mga loan. And as I mentioned a lot in my videos na dito sa Canada, it's so easy to acquire loans and credits. Even credit card companies like Capital One, they will send like a fake card in your home. This is to lure you into signing up and then getting a credit card. And we fell in this trap before. We personally had a Capital One before na pinaklose na namin nung I guess it was around 2020. Dahil ayaw na namin ng maraming credit cards. Dahil nung time na yon marami talaga kaming credit cards. Maybe like 4 credit cards no time na yon. So we closed some of it and we know na meron itong impact sa credit score namin. So hindi namin pinansin yung impact nito sa credit score dahil alam naman namin na our credit score will just bounce back in time. And eto ang isang number 1 na pinakamalaking mistake dito sa Canada, yung isipin natin na since nandito tayo, we have this privilege na mangutang, and since it's easy na mangutang dito, nangungutang din tayo without thinking the consequence of what we're doing. Na even I heard some people na yung nasa Pilipinas pa sila, meron na silang credit card and dinala nila yun dito sa Canada. At then pagdating dito sa Canada, yun yung ginamit nila to kaskas or to swipe in their purchases, like basic needs. And if you're doing that, luging-lugi ka talaga kasi yung card na yan sa Pilipinas, that is in Philippine peso. The buying power of that card is talagang mababa kasi nga 1 Canadian dollar is 40 pesos kaya. So why would you use it here in Canada? So if you're wise, just leave it there or close whatever credit cards you have there, and then if you really need a credit card here, you just open up. I would say na ang 20% na interest sa credit card ay mababa na siya. So which means na kapag meron kayong 5,000 na balance sa credit card ninyo and then 20% ang interest, yearly, $1,000 ang interest na binabayaran nyo sa credit card na yan. Assuming na 5,000 lang talaga ang balance the whole year. Which means na sa isang buwan, around $83 ang binabayaran nyo sa interest lang. Interest lang yan ha, hindi kasama yung capital. So if you cannot keep up with that, talagang every month, it will add up and add up and add up hanggang sa lumaki talaga siya, lumobo siya. Number 4 reason why we are broke is yung lack of emergency savings. Now, emergency savings will depend on each person or each family depending sa situation ninyo kung magkano yung expenses ninyo per month. And also, if meron kayong extra na pinagbabayaran or binibigyan, like halimbawa is meron kayong sinusuportahan sa Pilipinas, so isa din yan. Ang emergency savings ay parang life jacket. Hindi to kailangan natin all the time. Pero kapag sumakay tayo ng barko, sa barko merong life jacket na naka-ready in case of emergency, and it keeps us afloat when we need it. That's why ang emergency savings ay not a regular savings but something for the tough times. If we experience tough times in our life, like for example, if we experience na layoff or nawala ng trabaho dito sa Canada, or you got pregnant and you really need to stop working, you have this money that you can use for your basic needs. In Canada, we don't really need emergency savings for medical expenses dahil it's covered by the government. However, we should get our ducks in a row, or we should be ready for the tough times dahil hindi natin alam na our company or our employer will suddenly go bankrupt. They will close, and of course, everyone in that company will be jobless, or they will lay off some people. And if you're included in that, you know yung ma-layoff tayo, it's not easy. Dahil mostly sa mga layoff is sudden siya, abrupt. There's no like 1 month ahead na they will let you know, or 6 months ahead na, hey, we will lay you off on this like so and so date. Hindi ganon. So emotionally and mentally, hindi siya madaling i-handle. Dahil alam naman natin, ang pinaka-reason dahil it's so hard to handle being laid off from work is yung mga binabayaran natin. And yung sinasuggest ng mga financial experts is you have to save at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So you have to add up everything, yung mga basic needs ninyong iwanan nyo yung mga wants nyo, iwanan nyo yung mga subscription or anything na hindi nyo kailangan. So, you have to add up everything that you need in a month and then save up 3 to 6 months. So, times 3 or 6 mo siya. 3 months is the minimum that you have to save for that. So, halimbawa is you need $2,000 in a month para mabuhay dito sa Canada pagka wala tayong trabaho. You need to times 3 that in order to have 3 months at least na meron pa rin tayong panggastos, pambayad ng bills kahit na mawalan tayong trabaho. So, that means you have 3 months na maghanap ng trabaho, and you should have work bago matapos ng 3 months na to dahil maubos na yung emergency savings mo. Number 5 reason is lack of budgeting or impulse spending, and it's so common, and I always talk about this here dahil these days we are targeted. Kung ano yung specific preferences natin sa mga products, we are targeted on that. Dahil everywhere you go sa internet, kung ano yung binivisit mo na mga products or websites or yung mga kiniklik mo, you are being tracked. So they know na you like this specific product, this specific style, this specific color. That's why next time na mag-scroll ka sa social media, that specific talaga na gusto mo or preferred mo na produkto is it will show up on your face. And if you have no self-control and if you don't budget, you will really fall on the trap na mag-overspend. And if you ever need a budget spreadsheet or a template, you can go to my website. I have like templates there you can download and print, or you can use Google Sheet para makapag-budget. And you know, budgeting is like easy lang to. However, it's so hard to be consistent. It's so hard to even start. Kasi common sa atin na sa isip natin is alam natin yung mga ginagastos natin. Pero alam nyo ba na kapag hindi nyo talaga nakikita, like the numbers and where you spent your money, literally hindi mo talaga siya alam. As long as hindi ka nag-budget or you don't really write this down. And one takeaway that I can tell you about impulse buying is that every time na matempt kayo, you ask yourself, ano kaya ang nagagawa ng product nito sa buhay ko? What value does it give to my life? Yung talagang you will assess kung if you really need this product. So halimbawa maglalamig na, mag-winter na, and yung mga boots, yung mga cute na boots, nagpa-pop up na sa ating Facebook newsfeed or sa ating For You page. And once you're tempted talaga, you have to ask yourself, meron ba akong boots na similar nito? Or meron ba akong boots na lagi kong ginagamit? And if bilhin ko to, magagamit ko ba siya lagi? And if bibilhin ko to dahil cute siya, that means hindi ko siya laging ginagamit. Like to go to work or to go run errands. Probably magagamit ko lang to in a year. Like isang beses sa isang taon. And by doing that, dyan mo malalaman na wala itong value talaga sa buhay mo. And you don't need to buy that. Number 6 reason why we are broke is yung we are underestimating our long-term goals. Like for example, retirement. So right now, kung meron kang earned income from your job and you are not looking towards the future, you are not looking kung ano yung mangyayari sa'yo when you reach this age, magtatrabaho ka pa din. Or right now, you already plan something na you will set aside this money to invest. And ibili mo ng bahay sa Pilipinas, halimbawa, and start a business there eventually kapag tapos na yung bahay mo. Dahil yung plano mo is uwi na ng Pilipinas when you reach 60, and of course, hindi ka na magtatrabaho, and you have a place to live, and you have an income na bubuhay sa'yo. So right now, when you're in your 30s or 40s and you don't have this plan, someday, you will realize na it's too late already. Dahil alam nyo ba yung pension dito sa Canada, it's really not enough to live here. Okay lang yung pera na yun if you will live in the Philippines. Like for example, yung $1,500 or $2,000 per month mo is dun mo siya gagastusin sa Pilipinas. You will live in the Philippines with that amount of money. So, like 2,000 is like around 80,000 pesos. So, 80,000 pesos, malaki na, diba, sa Pilipinas, especially old age, wala na tayong masyadong kailangan. We just need, groceries, ganyan yung basic living expenses lang talaga. And if you don't have rent, that is really more than what we need sa Philippines. Pero dito sa Canada, $2,000, kakainin lang ng rent yan. Yung rent natin, 1,000 na, 1,500. Paano na tayo mabubuhay niyan? If you think na you're working hard right now, and then you're looking forward sa pension mo, to live off of that pension pagdating ng panahon, you are really setting yourself up na. Your body will not be able to work, pero you are broke. And for those na same age like me right now, we should have this planned already. And if you haven't thought of that before, this is your sign. This video is your sign to start planning your old age years. And think about planning for retirement as like planting a tree. The soon you start, the more shade you have in the future kapag kailangan mo na. Dahil like for example, if you start in your 40s and you will use that money in your 60s, so which means you have 20 years. So if this tree will grow for 20 years, that means malaki na siya when you reach 60, and the shade will be much larger compared sa if you start and you only have 5 years to save or to plan for your retirement. So imagine a tree that has grown for 5 years versus one that has grown for 20 years. So malaki ang difference, diba? Number 7 reason why we're broke is sometimes we don't know how to categorize needs versus wants. So here's what you're going to do if a product is really a need or a want. So kung need siya, it will keep us alive, healthy, and well. If want naman siya, it will just bring us comfort and luxury. So that's what you're going to remember each time na gusto nyong bumili ng isang bagay. Dahil minsan iniisip natin na need natin siya dahil yung sa example ko na boots, dahil nga winter na, so you think it's a need because you need winter boots to go outside. Pero it's a want na this time dahil meron ka ng boots, meron ka ng ginagamit na boots. So that categorizes as a want already. Number 8 reason kaya tayo ay broke is because of FOMO. What does FOMO means? FOMO means fear of missing out. Common na talaga itong fear of missing out sa ating mga Pilipino. I grow up seeing this around me. Na kapag yung kapitbahay mo ay nakabili ng ganito, ikaw naman, feeling mo ay you're missing out on something dahil sila nakabili ng ganyan, you also have this mindset na you need to buy it too. And that behavior will really lead you into being broke. Lalo na ngayon na yung mga kakilala natin o kapitbahay natin or mga relatives natin ay nagpo-post kung ano yung mga binili nila. Na madali na natin nakikita kung ano yung mga pinagbibili nila, and then we think we need to keep up dahil we have this feeling na we are missing out on something. And then you will comment it na saan mo to nabili or saan mo to nakuha, and then you will go and inquire, and if hindi mo ma-afford, you will utang. Para malabanan talaga itong habit na to is we really have to think consciously. Now, we don't need kung ano yung mga binili nila or naipundar nila dahil in the first place, magkaiba yung financial status natin sa buhay. Kaya if you think about it, if naka-afford sila ng ganun, maybe they have money to buy that stuff. Maybe they can really afford that. Think about it na para kang nakipagkarera na yung gas mo ay half lang, sa kanila full tank. Of course, hindi ka aabot sa kung ano yung aabutin nila dahil hanggang dyan lang yung gas mo. Kahit na anong gagawin mo, hindi mo na maaabot yung naabot nila kasi full tank nga sila. Ikaw, halfway lang yung gas mo. So stop validating your happiness externally. Focus on what you have within yourself or what you have around you already. The last but not the least is to discipline ourselves or to delay our gratification. In today's world, na seems like everything is so instant already na you can even buy something and have it delivered dahil you can click it on your phone. You can buy it through your phone. Na if we delay something, we feel like it's illegal. Especially if you have these noises around you, the background noise around you, yung mga nagsasabi sa'yo na you deserve that, deserve mo yan, you have to splurge because you work hard. Yung baga sinasabi nila na work hard, play harder. But you should play smarter, not harder. Delaying gratification is a skill talaga na kailangan nating ma-master, lalo na dito sa Canada na we have to be conscious with our spending. Dahil if you fall on these traps, yung mga financial traps, yung mga consumer debt na yan, sino ba ang magsasuffer? Tayo lang din, di ba? Yung mga tao na nagpupush sa'yo or nag-i-influence sa'yo, yung background noise na yan, they will not be affected. Ikaw ang magsasuffer. That's why you have to work hard but play smarter, not play harder. And if you would like to know more about delayed gratification, here's the video. You can go watch it if you like. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. And I'll see you again on my next one.